doesn't matter how old you are, a little peekaboo is so much fun. We're also going to be making a Christmas version. Hi everyone, welcome to sunnydaystamping.com. I'm Julie Baca. We're making such a fun card today. I'm excited to show you all the tips and tricks. You're going to be able to find all the measurements on my blog post. I'll link it in the description of this video. You'll find the measurements there, extra photos, list of supplies. If you want your cards to look like mine, you can purchase the supplies from there. But I'm telling you, if it is October 2025 when you're watching this video, do not buy from me this month with Stampin' Up. Join with me instead. You are going to save more money. They've got 2 starter kits to choose from, one of which is only $35. You pick $125 in products and it's only $35, and that includes free shipping. So it is cheaper to join than it is to place an order. So if you've got questions about that, make sure to reach out to me. I would love to have you on my team. No, you don't have to sell anything. No, you don't have to demonstrate anything. You can be your only customer. I love that Stampin' Up sets it up that way. Anyway, let's get started with this fun fold. So when you design your card, you're going to want to pick a stamp set that has something really cute to peek out through that little peekaboo hole. Now you're going to take your card base, go ahead and fold it around along the score line. You're going to end up opening it anyway, but this is just going to make it easier to place your circles. So we need to cut out the peekaboo hole, and you're going to use any circle die. For this card, I'm going to use this middle Stylish Shapes die. And I'm going to turn it in landscape because we're going to use this cute little wiener dog, and we're going to put it about right here. That way we're going to cut this out and his little head is going to stick through here. But when you run this through the machine, make sure to open up your card base because you don't want it to cut through both layers. You can stick that down with a sticky note if you're kind of unsure, or just guess. So now we have a little hole for our doggy to show through. But while we're here, let's cut an outline rim. This is optional, but it's really going to set off your picture. So now you're going to choose an accent color and then go back to your Stylish Shapes, and whatever shape you cut or whatever size you used for the front of your card, you're going to take the next one up. And then we're going to nest these together. Nest them right in there together. Now, this is just a tip to make your plates last longer. I try to cut along the edge as much as possible instead of putting this right in the center because I can move it around more, and larger dies have to go in the center. So whenever I can push things off to the edge, I'm going to do that. So now when you take these off, you're going to have a circle in the center. You can use this for a different project, but now you have this accent ring, and that's going to go right here. We're not going to glue it down yet though. So now we want to stamp our little doggy so that his head is sticking out that hole, and I've got a tip. So instead of trying to kind of guess where to put it, go ahead and put your inside cardstock in here. Make sure to line it up so it's all centered, and then close it. Don't glue it down though. Now grab a pencil and I like to put a little dot in the center just so I know where to line it up. And then I'm gonna just kind of put little marks around the edge of the circle, or you can go all the way around and erase it. And this is gonna help me know where the boundary is of where I need to stamp that. Now when I take that out, we've got these light marks which we'll be able to easily erase. Now ink up your stamp. I'm gonna use Secret C. He is so, so cute. And now I've got this center where I know where the center is. I also have this bottom boundary, so I know, do I want to be able to see his foot coming out of the card or not? I also have this edge boundary, so I make sure to get his little nose in there and then stamp it down. Then we can just easily erase, although you might not need to if you're going to be coloring right inside here. Actually, before you erase your marks, if you're going to be putting any other sentiment on the inside of your card, you're going to want to keep those marks so that you don't stamp inside of the marks, so that when you put it back into your card, you can see that this is perfectly lined up, but then you won't see any sentiments that you stamp on the inside too. So that's my quick tip. Like no fail will get you having that placed right the first time. Now we're just gonna color in this puppy really quick. I'm gonna use the Stampin' Blends markers. These are alcohol markers and they make coloring just lovely. To me, I do not love coloring, but these are nice and smooth. They color quickly and just give a deep, deep color. Now to just be nice and quick, I just color the whole thing with the light pecan pie, and then you're gonna take the dark. Each Stampin' Blends comes as a pack, one light, one dark, so that you can do shading really easily and get that beautiful design that you want. So you noticed these do have a bullet tip or a brush tip, so you can just get into those details, but also get like big swaths of color really quickly too. And then, so I did the light and then went and accented with the dark. Now, one thing I like to do when you've got an image that needs to be kind of grounded, just take your smoky slate or whatever and just kind of go underneath the feet, kind of creating a little shadow, but kind of like anchoring him to the card there. And now we'll just color in his sweater. And there we go. Isn't he just adorable? Now we need a sentiment for the front of our card. I love that this set has happy birthday, but also Christmas. We're gonna make a Christmas card next. So pick something for the front of your card. They've also got these really funny little things too. I am gonna use the largest banner out of the Stylish Shapes, but if you don't have this, you can just cut. I mean, banners are so easy to cut just with scissors. So I've got the measurement for that banner on the project sheet here. If you want to just cut it with scissors, you can also find the measurements for this on sunnydaystamping.com. But this print and make project sheet, which also has the assembly, this has assembly tips on how to put this together the right way. This is emailed out to my email subscribers, and it's free for the first week after this video in my welcome email. So you can sign up in the description below for that. So I went ahead and pre-cut that banner, and we're just gonna stamp a happy birthday on there. But I want this to kind of be going off to the side over here. We're gonna trim this down. So I wanna make sure to stamp all the way to the left. I really love the type they used on this stamp set. I love that they've got the like all caps with the cursive, and that the cursive is nice and bold, so you get a really good image for your sentiment. Now we need to trim that, so you can put it back in your paper trimmer, which is what I like to do because I don't cut straight, but if you're amazing at cutting, you can do that too. So I'm just gonna trim that off and then see if it's still gonna fit on my card. I don't want it going off the edge over here. So that looks like it's gonna work just great. So we're ready to assemble this card, and then I'm gonna show you how to do one the other direction and also show you some tips on how to put together that little llama. So we're going to put him right in there, close this down. Now we're going to glue the sentiment on. Just put it right there, making sure it's not going over into the circle here, not extending past our hole. And then just put a little line of glue all around your circle, your outline. This just really, look at this and then put this on here. It just really sets it off so nicely. I think this is such a great birthday card for anybody, whether a kid or a guy or whatever. So cute. And I've got some other examples to show you at the end. Okay, now for our second card, I just want to give you some tips on how to do this the other direction. We're actually going to use a larger circle. So I'm going to use the second largest circle, and then when we go to cut our rim, we would use the next largest size to cut that outline rim. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. You want to orient it towards the top half of your card. Okay, so that's what this looks like. And then here is the outline that I cut to kind of set that off. I also cut a banner and went ahead and stamped that, and that will go right here. So for this card, we're going to do the same method again, putting the white on the inside and not gluing it down. But I really want to show you how to do this llama. There are 2 different ways to do it. You can add the head to the top of this really long neck, or you can use the scarf. So I'm going to show you how to use the scarf. With this long section, this will also fit on the dog if you want him to have a really long torso. I'm not going to show you exactly how to do that, but let me just give you a tip. What you would do, you would use a clean stamp and you would cover up part of the stamp that you don't want inked. Ink this up and stamp it. So you're going to have half of a dog, and then take this long section and line it up on there. So kind of covering it. And you could do it the other way. You could just have it showing just his tail end with the long torso. It would be so cute. But for this, I've got it marked where to stamp. So I'm going to take the head and stamp that. I don't really want his ears going past that top circle, so I'm going to make sure to bring it down a little bit. And then I'm going to take this scarf section and we're going to line it right on his neck. I'm going to stamp it right there. Hopefully I have it in line. Yes! Oh, doesn't that turn out so, so cute? And then I'm going to take the rest of this to kind of fill in his neck going all the way down. There, so you can have that go extending past your paper there. This stamp set also has these cute little lights, so I'm just going to put them right up here in the corner. And then I'm also going to throw just one little strand on the back of the envelopes so that we've got a nice matching set. Go ahead and erase your marks. I just wanted to give you just a quick tip for coloring the llama. I'm going to do him in gray. So I'm going to color him all in light gray except for this little poof. You're going to see I'm just going to leave it a little bit white. Now I'm just going to go back and I'm just going to put dark inside those ears. You could also put it a different color. I go over the eyebrow and over his little nose mouth area. And then where the artist has little squigglies, I just squiggle also. And then just put a little bit of dark just along his neck where it meets that. And now for this white section, I'm going to use the color lifter. It doesn't lift the color completely. It's just going to kind of blend that together. I liked having that little dimension on his bangs right there. Now for the rest of the llama, I'm going to use Granny Apple Green and Shaded Spruce to color in the lights and his neck. There we go. Isn't that so cute? Now you could pop this up with Stampin' Dimensionals if you have them, but I'm just going to glue this down right there. Such a fun Christmas card. Isn't that just a fun, playful, cutie patootie little Christmas card? And here's the one I made with the dog, a little Christmas doggy. So this is a great set for Christmas, but then look, you can use it year-round for birthday cards. Let me just show you the insides of these different color combos. Now this one was just quick and easy. I just did the head with that long neck and skipped the scarf so that this will be good for summertime. Then here's a happy birthday dog. And this is just another combo, color combo, pumpkin pie, soft sea foam, and Highland heather. And then this one is just kind of a funny one. Sorry, I'm a little behind. Happy birthday. This is blueberry bushel, Granny Apple Green, and then the lemon lolly. So these were the same color combos, pool party with real red, and the same on the inside. And then these are the same color combos. And then these ones are different, but just I wanted to give you a bunch of ways to use this stamp set. So I hope this gives you ideas on how to send out these fun cards. There is only 1 week left for the best starter kit deal ever that Stampin' Up! Has put out. You get to choose between 2 starter kits. choose $189 in products and pay only $99, and that includes free shipping. So if you were ever wanting one of these cut and emboss machines, put it in your starter kit and you'll still have money left over to spend to buy like a die set or something to go with it. The other starter kit option is choose $125 in products and pay only $35. That includes free shipping. So it's honestly cheaper to join and get the starter kit than it is to place an order. So I'd love for you to be on my team. There are so many benefits. So reach out to me. I'd love to answer your questions. I will see you here next Friday. Have a sunny day.